What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks, and we back in the building, you feel me? It's True Talks, cause True Talks. All right, let's get straight right into it. All right, so there's a lot of things that happened with preseason. You know, the Trailblazers and the Jazz had a nice game. Bucket for bucket with CJ versus Donovan Mitchell. Then you had Dame obviously going to work. Zach Collins was putting in work. You know, Joe Ingles. It was a nice Gobert versus Whiteside. A lot of stuff that was going on. We're not going to go into the context with that because preseason is basically ending. Obviously, you want to watch the clips, but like right now, if I do all of those videos, there won't be enough time to talk about predictions for the Western Conference, prediction for the Eastern Conference. You know, top 5 player talk, top 5. You know, all of that type of stuff. Get it into Tuesday. There's only a certain amount of days left. You know what I mean? So we just want to take this time to just talk about some stuff that kind of where I bring my IQ. You know what I mean? I bring my IQ, give you that context on what I think is going to be happening, my projections, etc. So we're going to dive straight right into that. So right now in this video, we're going to be talking about how I feel the Western Conference is going to be looking, how I think it's going to be looking. Obviously, everything is opinion and is, you know, it's subject to that. But at the end of the day, I can take what I see so far based off the playing styles, based off the rosters, based off of the competition in the West, you know what I'm saying? Based off of the chemistry, based off so many things that I'm going to dive into. This is where I'm getting my top 8 playoff spots. Well, not top 8. Well, the 8 playoff spots, you know what I mean? And then the people who are going to be fighting for playoff spots, etc. So again, when I do this 8, there's going to be certain spots that can like interchange. It's not like this is guaranteed 4th seed. This is guaranteed 5th seed. I'm going to give what my 8 I think is going to be. But again, I'm going to tell you when I give the context of which spots I expect to kind of be up. These two teams kind of could change. These teams could change. This top 4 could be, you know, interchanged. This top 3, you know what I mean? I'll talk about it more in depth. So let's get straight right into it. You already know. It's tough, man. The West is a solid 11 teams I could say that are contenders or good, solid teams, great teams or good teams or solid teams. There's 11 of those and they're fighting for 8 spots. The West has always been like this every year, but this 11 I'm talking about all can each get 48 to 50 wins. Cause what? Look, remember the Clippers last year without Kawhi, without Paul George had 48 wins. Remember that 48 wins at the 8th seed. You know what I'm saying? So now you have teams like the Warriors dropping with KD moving, etc. I'm going to give what I actually think my opinion is on where the Warriors are going to lie based off, obviously it's preseason, but certain rotations, certain just how it looks and how there's certain things you could take out of preseason that you could be like, I could see where this is going to lead to. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things is kind of like, okay, they're playing weak, but there's certain crucial things that you could take out of it. That's what I was taking out. That's why I do my research during the preseason. So let's get straight right into it. So basically like I said, 11 teams for the Western Conference. Now I'm going to do starting from the bottom from the 11 to 8 or the 11 to 9 range where they could fight for playoff spots. They could change, but this is going to be the teams that might go in or might not go in. The 3 teams, everybody knows the 3 teams that are fighting is basically going to be the Mavericks, the Kings, and the Pelicans. Those 3 teams are fighting to get into the 8th, 7th spot. Basically, maybe the 8th spot if we go according to what we saw last year, because only team that dropped out of the playoffs that's weak this year is going to be OKC, is going to drop down, and Lakers are going to rise up. So that's still 8 teams that is guaranteed, basically. You know what I'm saying? So Pelicans, Kings, Mavericks are the ones that weren't in the playoffs and now trying to rise. So one of those 3 are going to try and fight for the 8th seed. Maybe 2 of them get in. We don't know. But those 3 are like the honorable mention ones. Out of those 3, it's tough, man. The Kings, I think there's too many hidden agendas on the Kings. You know what I mean? Like Bogdanovich, Buddy Hield, and Fox. There's too many hidden agendas, which is going to lead to inconsistencies. One extra pass is not being made. I feel like the Pelicans don't have hidden agendas. Only one who probably has a hidden agenda is probably Ingram, because, you know, Ingram wants to prove himself. But other than that, you know, everyone's just going to be doing what they got to do. Just doing this. Everyone's just going to be playing with the flow. And the chemistry and the fit just matches. Because even with Ingram doing his hidden agenda, he's the only one who's going to be trying to score like that. Like even Drew Holiday, when he scores, it's not like, I'm just isoing. It's like within flow. You know what I'm saying? Like Redick within flow, Lonzo within flow, That's how they play. You still need an ISO scorer. So Ingram still is going to fit because there's not going to be someone competing for him at that ISO type of role. So even though he might be the only one with the hidden agenda, it doesn't really matter because the role he's playing fits. It just fits. Pelicans, they just fit. You know what I'm saying? So like fit is such a huge part, especially when it comes to conference when other teams fit well too. And you're in a conference where you're playing solid teams every night. When frustrations happens, the fit is kind of sometimes in the chemistry what kind of propels you over the top. That's why you see the Spurs, you see all these other teams that are just solid each and every night, each and every year. You get what I'm saying? So stuff like that matters. So Pelicans are just guaranteed to me, it's just a solid fit just off the jump. Their inconsistencies will come from their youth, but they still have a mix of, some vets and stuff like that. So I feel like they'll probably be the best team out of the three. But it's Mavericks is there, man. But Mavericks, I feel like they still need a year to mesh with each other. But then again, they're so talented, those two, that with the dynamic duo, that they can, if Tim Hardaway goes to work and, he does what he's supposed to do, and like the certain filling pieces do what they're supposed to do, that one could work. Like, I would say I just might take the Pelicans over the Mavericks because defense is guaranteed and they're going to push transition. So easy buckets are going to come more than the Mavericks' easy buckets. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how Porzingis is going to feel. Maybe I just hope this is all no injuries. I just hope he doesn't get no injuries, nothing like that. So I just the fit, the transition, the defense, just guaranteed things. Pelicans have the more of an edge, and they're so deep more than the Mavericks. So I would have to choose them over those three. If one of those three have to make the playoffs, it's going to be the Pelicans in my eyes. Mavericks, I'm not counting Mavericks out though. Kings probably more out than anybody, but they're still nice too. So anyway, so we'll move forward from that. So those are honorable mentions. One, then we'll go from my 8 to 6 seed. The next three, remember, these could change. I have Warriors, Spurs, and then Lakers. So I have Warriors around 8 seed, Spurs around 7 seed, and Lakers around the 6 seed. Remember, these all could change. So these seeds, it could be flipped. Warriors could be 6, Lakers could be 8, Spurs could be 8. I just see it in this range. The 6 to 8 range, these are the 3 teams I see. The reasons for it. So we'll start with the Warriors. The reasons for the Warriors being this low. At first, before preseason, I didn't have the Warriors this low because remember, Clay's going to come back. Clay's going to be a big part. But that huge stretch before he comes back is a long stretch, especially in the West. You can't slip up on games. I just mentioned the Kings. They're 11th, what I mentioned. They're going to be a problem too. So you can't sleep. You get what I'm saying? Like you playing the 11th seed could beat you. It's going to matter. It's going to matter in the future. It's going to matter down the stretch. It's going to matter for the playoff push. It's going to matter. Like those losses you might have caught on, like it's just too many elite teams or solid teams every given night in the West. Even the ones even Phoenix is not going to be easy. You know, Rubio, you got Devin Booker. You know what I mean? Like no team is easy. Minnesota, like they're not just easy like that. So I just feel like the Warriors defense, the defensive identity that they used to have, losing Iguodala and losing Clay and KD, those are 3 defensive players. Like as much as people talk about KD, he locks up. Talk about Clay, he locks up. Igu, we already know he locks up. Those 3 guys are gone. All those miscommunications on switching, the little things matters with 3 guys like that. Draymond normally they switch auto. Curry knows I get on this guy, you hide me. The corner guy rotates. If I'm on the big, I go back to the corner. Those little things are going to be happening. D'Angelo's not a defensive, elite defender. So he's going to make a lot of mistakes. You have both of them on the perimeter, not switching. Now that's a lot of it. But obviously, again, you see the stuff that's happening with the Lakers. Willie Cauley-Stein's not there and Looney's not there. That's going to change. When Willie Cauley-Stein's there, it's going to be a way different ball game. Like I'm telling you, they're still going to be solid. But my point is the points. Curry's going to have to eat. I already know that. And even just watching preseason, Curry he's just so used to the Golden State flow and all of this type of stuff. But the problem for me, what might not be a good mesh, we'll see how it translates. But I'm looking at D'Angelo Russell, and even when he's on the Nets, how he's always been, he's never been an efficient scorer. He's always been inefficient, from low 40s to 43. Field goal percentage is kind of what his ballpark is. And he needs the ball in his hand at long stretches. He's doing pick and roll. Curry's going off this, running the pass, relocate, this and all that type of stuff. That people are the ones saying KD is not going to work, or KD, they're better without KD and all that type of stuff because KD's taking ISO mid-range. But one thing you know about KD, he's efficient. When he gets the ball, he's scoring. He's efficient at the mid-range, efficient at the 3. He's efficient at all levels. So as much as you try to knock on him when you need a bucket, it's still efficient. So that's why it worked. D'Lo's not efficient like that. And not only that, he's not an ISO scorer. He needs pick and roll. So that takes away from the back screens that's coming from Curry. So there's a lot of like things that don't really mesh. Like you can see when D'Lo plays off ball, he can catch and shoot, but he's still not efficient. But if he was efficient, like a Clay and all that type of stuff, like even I'm watching preseason, he's bricking. I know it's preseason, obviously rhythm, but just the way he plays, he's always played like that. His catch and shoot, he could do it here and there, and obviously he can still shoot, but his most efficient plays when he's doing pick and rolls and he's doing the put you on the hip, show you the bum, stop, mid-range floater, Euro, step back off of those, all that type of stuff. Pass out, get it back, and then three, that type of stuff. And that mixed with Curry, like Clay and Curry works to get together so well because Clay's just splashing if you ask him. So like D'Lo is just the efficiency is the main thing. It's not so much the play style, kind of is, but the efficiency. So, you know what I mean? He's a rhythm type of player. So like, the scoring's going to be a lot of Curry. That mix I just see frustrations. I see times where it's not going to match because you don't have the benefit of you guys being a court together for a while and you're facing solid teams each and every night and you have not as much defense as you used to. So it's like, there's too many ifs and negatives that like you're the way they used to, regardless, even if they were bricking, they shoot too many threes, they played elite defense and they score in transition. That's not going to be the same anymore. So like, I just don't see them being in that higher echelon anymore. And the one guy that would give you an ISO bucket was KD with mid-range, who's doing that. You know what I'm saying? So like, the defense is such a big problem, man. And like, it's such a big problem. So they'll be in that 6 to 8 range. I'm not saying they'll be 8, but if I have to choose, they'll be 8, but they'll be 6 to 8. Now we go to Spurs. Spurs are solid. DeJounte Murray is back. They got DeMarre Carroll. Rudy Gay is solid there again. He's back. So they're going to be, they're still the same team system. You got DeRozan, you got LaMarcus Aldridge, but at the end of the day, it's just, they might sleep people. I feel like they'll probably, they're just, their chemistry, the coaching, like you already know they're elite. So I just already know that they're going to be in that 6 to 8 range because just the talent itself is not comparable to the other teams, but their system is greater than the other team. So they're the one team that they're not locked in the 6 to 8 range. If I had to just, my verdict, say what it is, I just have to put them in 6 to 8 just based off talent. But again, you already know the Spurs, they don't like last year without DeJounte Murray, they were already 7th seed. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the reason why I'm always going to put them in a 6 to 8 range is they're not working with the Ginobilis and the Tim Duncans, guys who were efficient. They're working with the DeRozan, who's not efficient, and LaMarcus Aldridge, who cannot be efficient sometimes too in big games. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are your two main guys at the end of the day, however you slice it. So it's just, I don't expect them to carry you in this type of tough West to the top echelon. You know what I'm saying? So I just see them in that 6 to 8 range. They're the one team though they could go up. They could go up. They're not stuck there. Then we got the Lakers at 6. People are like, oh my God, what? The Lakers that low? Again, Lakers I see in the 6 to 8 range. They're not really 6 to 8 range. They're probably like 4 to 7 range, 4 to 6 range. You know what I'm saying? But if I have to just put it, this is what my 8 is looking like. I'm going to put them at 6, even though their range is 4 to 6. I'll say 4 to 6. That's their range. You know what I'm saying? The reason why is because I told y'all when Kuzma comes back is going to be a big difference, but I'm not seeing them play 80 at the 5 that much. It's because if they didn't sign Dwight, they have one JaVale. You're going to have to play 80 at the 5 sometimes by default because that's the second big. You know what I'm saying? So you have to interchange. They have 2 solid bigs and you have to play Dwight minutes to justify that you signed him. You have to play JaVale minutes to justify that you signed him. So one is always in at all times. That's how they've been playing. I haven't seen any other rotation with the 80 at the 5, like only like a small flash. So like, that's just bad space and pick and rolls. One's on the block. Like it's going to help you with rebounds and stuff like that. But like, that's how they were struggling versus the Nets and struggling, you know what I mean? Obviously they're beating Golden State who has no bigs. Like that's what people are looking at. They've only been facing Golden State. Golden State has no bigs. Cauley-Stein's out and Looney's been out. So you know what I mean? They have no bigs. So when I'm looking at teams like you have a DeAndre on the Nets, you have a Jared Allen on the Nets. They're not doing the same type of stuff. You get what I'm saying? There has to be floor space and pick and roll with AD. It's not going to work like that if Dwight's sitting on the block or JaVale's sitting on the block. So that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of this, like I just don't like the space. And not only that, then you have Rondo, LeBron in together. The non-shooters, you have only 2 shooters sometimes on the floor. Like the spacing to me is just in the West. Like in this new era, you don't see 2 bigs like that. Like you don't see 2 bigs. 80's going to be forced more to be on the perimeter even more because of the 2 bigs. I'm telling y'all, man, I just don't like the fit. The fit is not the best. The chemistry hasn't been the best. Now the one thing is they're gonna play good defense. LeBron's gonna eat, especially on transition. He's gonna kill. AD's gonna eat on some rebounds, but then they're gonna eat rebounds too. But then on the other end, when you're floor spacing them out, then you have to take one out. That might be the benefit for them having 80 at the 5. But we'll see how it goes, man. Like in the West, I just feel like they're gonna struggle. They're gonna have growing pains. Just the fit to me, roster wise, doesn't. I don't like it. 80 LeBron bare times has been playing the 4, the 3-4. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they've been having Caleb at the 5. That's been their best lineup for that when they won their championship. So like, or when the Heat when Bosh was at the 5. So the fact that you have 80 at the 4 and then another, like LeBron's never won like that. So for me to assume that's going to win at this older age, no. I'm telling y'all, hell no. And the shooters they have around them can hit here and there. They're not like lights out. Only one is Danny Green, but he don't even pull contested. He's not like a Clay. So they have to have the 2 shooters you have better be elite type of snipers like a Clay or whatever. Then I'll say, okay, maybe it can work because they'll still hit dead eye shots. I'm not seeing like Danny Green, Avery Bradley's not hitting hella dead eye shots. Open, yes, but you don't need to help off the OD if you have Dwight Son on the block or JaVale, especially good teams. Don't look at this Golden State the way they've been playing Golden State. Don't let that fool you. They have no bigs. Curry even said they have no bigs. If you really know basketball, like spacing, we haven't seen 2 bigs in how long? What successful team has had 2 bigs? Come on now. Anyway, so we'll move past that. So that's my reason why they're going to be at the middle of the pack there. So I got my 5th seed. My 5th seed that I got the Rockets. Rockets is just such a beautiful regular season team. Obviously, a lot of people don't like the play style. Harden's always going to eat. His numbers might go down a little bit, but he's still going to eat. You always have one MVP in at all times because they interchange the same thing they're doing with Chris Paul and Harden. So you got Westbrook, you got James Harden, and that's what I've been seeing in preseason. They're sticking to that. Russell Westbrook comes out early. James Harden plays the whole 12 first minutes. Then he comes out for the top of the second where Russell Westbrook comes in and plays probably to like around 7 minutes. Harden comes back in. There's always one of them in at all times, and they both play to end quarters. You know what I'm saying? That's what they both played. And end the second quarter and end the fourth quarter, the main quarters. So that's how it's looking. You got one MVP in at the same time. Westbrook, the inconsistent with his shooting at times that might happen. Because, Russell Westbrook's not an elite shooter. He's a streaky shooter. So that can play with them with some crucial games, like maybe versus the Kings or for, some crucial games that might not get them to that top 1, 2 seed or 3 seed. That's why I see them at 5th because, again, chemistry with both of them playing, I feel like it's going to work because, again, they're good friends. They want it to work. They want to see each other eat. But then like Joe Green is injured, right? So that's a floor spacer that Sus is. Then you have to play Ben McLemore and all these other guys that aren't familiar. Cephalosha. Like there might not be enough shot creators at times. You get what I'm saying? And even with Harden, without Westbrook and Chris Paul was eating by himself, he was winning. And you've seen how that works in regular season. It just works for Harden in regular season with the floor spacing. Russell Westbrook gonna have even more floor spacing. So it's gonna be a problem. So that's why I see them at the 5th seed. Just the chemistry and the inconsistencies with the shooting. Sometimes I feel like might be a knock against them, and then sometimes they put PJ Tucker at the 5, and that might be a detriment when they're facing like let's say like the Lakers with 2 bigs or something like that. So there might be some games where rebounding might hurt them. So we'll see how that goes. But just because it's a new togetherness, they like again Chris Paul first season they went straight to number 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? So straight to number 1, 2 seed. So they could do that this year too. I feel like their seeding will be between 1 to 5. They have a wider window because they could either. I feel like their lowest will be as 5. They're just such a solid regular season team. They shoot too much threes. It's just the analytics just works in their favor for regular season, especially if you back to backs. Like people aren't paying attention with all that type of stuff. So I feel like it's gonna fit, but just because Westbrook's inconsistencies, I feel like it might just go to 5th seed. But they have a range. They have a further range than the Lakers because they're just a solid regular season team for me. Just how they've always been, even with Chris Paul. Injuries and all that type of stuff. So let's move forward. So we got at the 4th seed. I got the Jazz at the 4th seed. People think Jazz are going to be higher. Their window again. All these windows, all these teams I'm mentioning now, their window is from where I list them at up to number 1 because they have such a good fit. They also have chemistry and they're just solid defensively, solid offensively. They're deep. All of it applies. So these teams will probably interchange these 1 through 5, but if I had to pinpoint where that last day of the regular season is going to be, what the picture's looking like, I have the Jazz at number 4, just because they've been what they were. They were what 6 seed last year, I think. They were 6 seed last year. Mike Conley's that's a big improvement from Rubio. Donovan Mitchell's going to make a jump. You know what I'm saying? You have Jeff Green, you have Bogdanovich. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot. You have Ed Davis coming off the bench, so still another type of Rudy Gobert type of player. You have Rudy. You know what I'm saying? You have Joe Ingles. He's coming off the bench and he can play the 4. Yeah, they have a lot of. They have shooting, floor spacing. They have no 2 bigs, only 1 big. Kind of, you know what I mean? Kind of looking like the Nets with their makeup. So it's gonna be nice. They're gonna be clean. My only issue with them is just, can Donovan Mitchell and Conley as a duo be that much elite scoring wise? They don't need to be, because they actually have other role players. Well, they kind of do need to be in big moments. That's what I'm talking. In big moments, can you versus these teams in big moments? Donovan Mitchell, step back. Am I going to see a splash? Sometimes he takes contests and it doesn't go in. I know he wants to be the Don, but sometimes from what I've been seeing, it doesn't go in. It does. You know what I mean? I don't trust their clutch situational yet. That's what it is. I don't trust the clutch situational yet. I know it's still regular season, but this regular season ain't like other regular. This is big game. Every game regular season in the clutch, like, it's going to matter. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's the difference. So next we got what I have at the 3rd seed. I have the Blazers at the 3rd seed. Like I said, it could interchange. They could go from either 3-1 or, you know, that Blazers, they're Blazers probably, I see them 3-5. I see them, their window is from probably 3-5. I don't see them 2 or 1. I see them 3-5. Man, they could be, because they're like, for me, I just think they're going to be elite. Damian's entering his prime. CG's entering his prime before the prime. So, like, you know that 1 year, that 1-2 year before you get to the prime, that one, he's entering that one. Damian's actually entering prime. So, yeah, I'm saying, like, I just see them going to work. I also see, like, adding Whiteside, rebounds, blocks, rim protection. Obviously, till Nurkic is back, Gasol off the bench to play that role. Then for me, it's just the role players they got. Like, they were always missing the 3 position. The fact that Rodney Hood is there now, for sure. He's not coming off the bench. He's actually a set starter. He's going to be, like, they've always been missing that. That's why I've been said they needed a Melo and all that type of stuff. He's going to be a problem. Zach Collins, he could shoot. He could protect the paint. He could rebound. Like, that man's a dog. Like, I like him at the 4 too. He's a floor spacer. Like, he's like a stretch 4 type of, but then can bang with you in the inside, like a post fade, could do up and unders. Like, he's nice, man. He's such a nice, especially for a role player. He's nice, man. So, like, that starting lineup is a problem, man. That starting lineup's a problem. They'll have defense. They, like, Damon's been stepping up his D. That, like, their system works. Their fit works. They've been 3 seed, 4th seed the last 2 years, 5th seed. Like, they were 3rd seed last year. So, like, I don't expect them to drop just like that. I know the West got better, but, like, they're deep, man. Then you got Kent Bazemore to replace Hood off the bench. You got Hazonia. You got Anthony Simons. You got CJ and Damian, all of them both in at one time. You know what I'm saying? Still Nurkic is there. Like, they're deep, man. They're deep. I like what I see with them. People are sleeping. I just feel like that dynamic duo is entering the prime. They're even gonna be better than what they did. You normally get better from that learning experience, from being in the Western Conference Finals, getting swept. You only get better, and both of those guys are dogs. So I just don't see. And again, they have the benefit of having the same type of coach, same type of chemistry, same type of plays, and they just incorporating pieces. That's the same thing with the Jazz, same thing with the Blazers, and same thing with the Spurs, but the Spurs talent is not comparable to the Jazz and the Blazers talent. So that's why those 2 teams they're going to be in the top 4, the Jazz and the Blazers. That's what I have there. Nuggets is similar to those 2 teams, those Jazz and the Blazers. I have the Nuggets at the 2nd. I feel like they're going to be 1-3. That's their seeding window, but I feel like they'll land at number 2. That's the Nuggets. And, man, you have Jokic. You have Jokic and Murray as a dynamic duo. Again, their main thing, this is playoffs for them, this is not playoff talk. This is regular season. I feel like even if they don't be elite in the clutch, regular season will still be good, because just their system, play style. Jokic as a passer, he doesn't need to score. He'll rebound. You know what I mean? You still got, then you got Murray. You got Gary Harris is still there. You got Will Barton at 3. Michael Porter could come off the bench. You get what I'm saying? Could be a big spark and be a problem. You got Monte Morris. Oh my goodness. You got all kinds of guys. They're solid, man. They're solid, man. They're actually solid. They're like, just their system. It just works. It's just a solid fit. They were number 1 seed last year. They're only going to improve. I just feel like they'll be 2nd seed just because the West, the way it is. You know what I'm saying? You got Malik Beasley. Jeremy Grant, big pickup. Jeremy Grant is a big pickup. You know what I'm saying? Mason Plumlee. So, like, they're going to be nice, man. Jeremy Grant is a solid rim protector, defender. He's been adding the 3 ball more. You got Millsap still. Like, they're going to be nice. They're nice. Don't get it twisted. They're nice. Second seed, first seed, I see it. Second seed, first seed, third seed. Well, that's their window, like I said. So, but second seed's where they land. Then last but not least, we got the Clippers. I got the Clippers at number 1. They were number 8. I know they're going from 8 to 1, but you added Paul George and you added Kawhi. Now, the beginning of the season until Paul George comes back, I feel like they'll still be winning, because even if with that same team you just add Kawhi, they're still an elite team. They're like the Raptors with more of ISO scores, like Lou Williams and stuff like that. So I feel, and their defense is way better than what Raptors had last year, especially with the perimeter. So like it's regardless, they'll just be winning games off defensive and fast break and Kawhi anyway. So I just see that they'll be elite. Pat Bev at the 1. You got Lou Will. He'll come off the bench, and Harrell will come off the bench. Shaman will probably play the 2. Then you got Paul George at the 3. And you got Mo Hark, or you got Jermichael Green at the 4. So that's the people that will guard the 4s. So both of them solid 6'9", solid defenders, can shoot the 3. Mo Harkless, inconsistent, but he'll still space out the floor somewhat if he can. And you got Zubac, Zubac at the 5, come off the bench with Harrell. So they're just a solid team. The chemistry, they're deep. They go, you know what I mean? So I just feel like they'll be number 1 seed. Their window for me is maybe 1 and 2. I don't see them being the 3rd or lower. If they are, it's because Kawhi's resting games, but he doesn't plan to this season because it's 1 season after the injury. Sorry, 2nd season after the injury. So he's already got his warm up. He got his break in. His break in is done. So now he should be back, full ready to go to war. So I just see them being the number 1 seed. I just feel like their defense, when you have defense and scoring like that, it normally just produces greatness. So that's what I see. So that's what I have, man. That's what I have on my seeding. Again, so that's Clippers 1, Nuggets 2, Blazers 3, 4 Jazz, 5 Rockets, 6 Lakers, 7 Spurs, Warriors 8. And then honorable mentions fighting. We got Pelicans and Mavericks and Kings. But like I said, like these can interchange. I think 1 through 5 can interchange, and 6 through 8 can interchange. So that's what I feel. That's what I see. That's what my IQ is kind of telling me based off what I saw in preseason, based off the rotation, based off the fit, based off of, especially the 4 position is so crucial nowadays in today's NBA. You have to have a guy who could spot up and shoot and hit. Like, he has to be one of the most versatile players is that 4 position, and people sleep on that. So I don't see that with the Lakers. I see that with the Jazz. I see that with the Blazers. I see that with the Nuggets. I see that with the Clippers. I see that even with the Rockets, because PJ plays the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, all those 5 teams have a forward that can floor space. The Lakers, I don't see that with. Even the Spurs, I see that with. And the Warriors, we see that. Well, Draymond is not hitting sometimes, but all of them have, floor spacers, like, or who stay on the perimeter, don't eat, so in the paint. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, it's True Talks, because True Talks. Share, like, and subscribe. I know it's a long video, but this could last, man. You know what I mean? Commands could just dive into it. Just real talks, you know what I mean? I tried to edit it, but I don't want to edit the IQ out of this. This is one of those long videos. You just have to take it in and just watch it, man. Share, like, and subscribe. We'll be ready. I got the Eastern Conference coming. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about what's going to be happening on Tuesday. And then we got the videos. You already know I'm going to be breaking it down. Basically, videos are going to be coming out daily in this season because you got so many good teams, so many solid teams, so many up and coming teams. Like, it's too elite with every way. So I'm going to be going to work. See me when I work. Work. You feel me? True Talks, man. And I'm out.